morning, my YouTubers. This is your cameraman, James Rusty, for today's new updated video for January 17, 2023. And this is the things I got this from last week in the thrift store and from my public library. Yep. And you know, before we start giving you the new things that I got, here's some updates. Lately, things in New York and Queens, they've been shoplifting in supermarkets, and now the store owners are concerned about losing their businesses because of shoplifting. And also, in the thing in my neighborhood now, they are actually doing like a construction, and they put up some boards and everything. They've been here for the past 2 weeks of the construction that's across the street on Laurel. Yep. And Wheels Restaurant, they are actually changing from sandwiches into the Korean food. Let's hope that it's not going out of business or something like that. Yep. And yesterday we had like Martin Luther King, but I even went bowling, but I didn't even actually win all the games. I lost some of the games. So let's begin with some of the updates. Hold on. Let's begin with some VHS tapes or DVDs I got this week when I was in 2 thrift stores. Salvation Army near my house and the Goodwill at the Casona. Okay, these are the VHSs I got, and I'll be keeping some and selling right on eBay. Let's start with the Disney sing-along songs like The Bare Necessities. The 3rd volume in 1987 has some clips from The Jungle Book, Cinderella, The Aristocats, Dumbo, and many more. Even the Winnie the Pooh featurette and the Summer Magic of the Ugly Buck Ball, performed by Bill Ives. It seems like an ex-library rental tape. Yep. I'm planning to sell this one on eBay, of course. And when this volume was reissued in the early 90s, they put this into the 4th volume. Barcode, no print date on it. I'm definitely going to sell this one on eBay. And here's one of the funniest films of '87 with Steve Martin and John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It was released from Paramount Gulf Western Company VHS in around mid-'88. That was after when Paramount celebrated their 75th anniversary. Seems like this is a funny movie. Yeah, when Steve Martin is trying to spend some time with his family, he ends up spending time with John Candy in the other states. This is what this tape looks like. This tape is actually printed it on the 31st week of '88. See a Crown barcode on there? Yeah. And here's Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. It's one of the best war films ever made. It has with Matthew Modine, Adam Baldwin, and I do like the sergeant who's so mean in it. Seems like a good movie. It's one of the best war movies ever. By J. Scott, the Tribute Girls and Mail magazine. This came out on VHS around mid-'88 by Warner Home Video. This is an ex-rental tape for Major Video. Probably this copy has a Deftone at the end. And finally we got Tale Stories. Tale Stories of the Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, 3 Little Pigs, and Little Riding Hood. This is the 1989 release. It's got to be released from Fun Discovery. And I had to get this in the thrift store. Hold on. Let's see what this looks like. There's no label on at the front, but I have the end label on there. Yep. This is the next tape. Here's some DVDs also I got when I was in the thrift store. Here's Caillou. Here's Caillou's Fun Outside. This is released from PBS Kids and Paramount in 2004 release. I think it's 2005. This is the Martin Caillou. This is not the classic Caillou. When he throws a temper tantrum when he didn't go to the circus. Yep, and that's why all parents hate Caillou very so goddamn much. Excuse me my language, but we all hate Caillou. And here's like the Full House, the complete season 1 that was released from Warner Home Video in 2012. These episodes are from 1987 and 1988. I wanted to have one of these episodes when they back the car into the kitchen and the walls collapse. I like that. Here's disc 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here's the history of the championship. That's from WF. This is released on DVD in these are these old wrestling matches like it did in the 1980s. And this DVD release was 2006. It's not a Coliseum Home Video VHS still releases I like that. That's pretty hard to find. Maybe that's for Captain Lou Albano and Hulk Hogan. Here's some of my children's books I got. The Little Kitten. Paperback book. It was released in 1983 by Random House. It's a pretty good children's book. Yep. And here's a couple of these Peanuts books. Be My Valentine's Charlie Brown Special. The special was 1973. This book was published in 1976. I think it was in 74. I'm not that sure. In my other video, I showed you like my Peanuts books I showed you. So I'll be released in Random House. There's No Time for Love, Charlie Brown. This special was 1973. But this book was published in 1974, the year after when the special was just released on TV. Good grief. And here's Sesame Street's Going Up, the elevator counting book. That's with Grover in there. Paperback book. This was published in 1980. And here's the next one. Charlie Brown's Encyclopedia book is called Featuring Your Body. I think I showed you that in my previous update videos I did in the past. Here's some books I got from when I was in the library. There's a book about the films and career of Maurice Chevalier. I had to get this book because Maurice Chevalier made 4 films for Jeanette MacDonald, and then he did Gigi in 1958. Born in 1888, died in 1972. And this book about Maurice Chevalier, published in 1973, the year after his death. I like Maurice Chevalier. Thank heaven for little girls. He was a cabaret singer in the 1920s. He did 4 films with Jeanette MacDonald. Like one of the films that's directed by Ernst Lubitsch. Speaking about Jeanette, I see her right now. And with Maurice, before she was a teen with Nelson Eddy. Love Me Tonight, that's one of the other Jeanette and Maurice films. Those were the ones she was with Paramount before she joined MGM. Thanks for the memory. Maybe I can find Gigi. And then Maurice Chevalier did some films for Disney. during the 60s. Search of the Castaways and Monkeys Go Home. He's a good cabaret performer, Maurice Chevalier. And this is the jacket part. Yep, I had to get this because there's a Jeanette Nelson is involved with this too. Wow. Hello, Jeanette Maurice. This is before with Jeanette Nelson. And here's a book about the movies by Griffin Mayer, published in 1970. Paperback? Yep, I had to get this when I was in the library. These books were selling for $2. I'm not going to show you all the pages, I'm going to show you some. It must be the silent era like the Rudolph Valentino. It's an old book. There's one of the romantic comedies like the Bringing Up Baby. My mother loves Cary Grant. Here's one of the best critical acclaimed films like Citizen Kane in 1941. Gary Cooper that he did like High Noon in 1952. There's some war films. Best Youth of Our Lives, nominated for 7 Academy Awards of 1946. There's Judy Holliday and Brederick Crawford in Born Yesterday. The Ten Commandments, got to be 1956. Directed by the Cecil B. DeMille. There's Easy Rider, 1969. It was near the early 1970s. This book is pretty rare. And I got some vinyls I got. Bilko Marches, yep. Known as like Sergeant Bilko TV show. And this vinyl that's going to be released from it's going to be released from Perimeter Records, something like that. It was published in 1955 or something, or 56. Sergeant Bilko was a good show. That was the one who created the Car 54, Where Are You? There's a pretty good vinyl. It's pretty rare. That's got to be 1955. I had to get this. Because I like Sergeant Bilko, because I like Phil Silvers. Even he was in an all-star cast comedy of It's a Man, 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 Man World in 1963. And I got a couple of the Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy albums for you. This first one we got is like the Jeanette Nelson's favorites. It was released in RCA in 1975. I think I have America's Singing Sweethearts vinyl. Got to be published in 78. Featuring some good songs like Will You Remember from Maytime, Even Indian Love Call from Rosemary, Wanting You from New Moon, A Sweet Mystery of Life from Naughty Marietta, and I put this cover back. It takes me like a little while. And here's another copy of the Jeanette MacDonald Nelson Eddy Favorites in stereo. This one was published in 1957. I think it's in 59. Featuring some good songs like Will You Remember, Indian Love Call, Wanting You, and A Sweet Mystery of Life. I'm crazy about Jeanette MacDonald Nelson Eddy's songs in their movies. This vinyl's pretty good. Published in 1959. Out of the late 1950s, going into the 60s. I put this cover back. And before we end this, here's a bonus. That we got this new binder. I got to put some new papers in involved with work-related and stuff like that. Green binder. It's from VO. It's got to be around the 2000s. It's got to be from Staples Standard. So there you have it, folks. That's my update video for January 17, 2023. I'll see you again next time when I have some more updates. Until then, please try to comment, subscribe, or ring the bell if you like this update video. Until then, this is your cameraman, Dave Drufsky, saying, see you next time, and I want to keep you updates. Bye.